Running a business, owning a business is unlike anything you'll ever do as an employee. It takes a lot of passion, it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of growth personally and professionally. The purpose of this video is to help you accelerate that growth curve so that you can get started on the right foot, or you can pivot and accelerate the growth of your business that already exists so that you can have an unbeatable business. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I'm Spencer from Profit and Pixels. I've had a lot of experience both starting and working in businesses, everything from startups to 9-figure companies and a lot in between. And I've seen some very consistent things that successful entrepreneurs, successful business owners have. And I think in the next 10 years, as our economy pivots to more gig work, I think that having an audience, having a business, having ownership over your income is going to be essential to avoiding a lot of the disruption that's coming to the standard W-2 employee industry, especially in the knowledge sector. These 7 things are going to dramatically improve your chances of having a successful business that adds value to your life. Number 1, keep your word. This is not radical secret knowledge. This is very old school, but the reason that it's persisted since the dawn of time is because it works. Business is built on trust and value exchange. If I don't trust you, or if the value exchange is uneven, then you're going to have problems in your business. You may get away with it once or twice, but you're going to lose your reputation and lose your opportunities. So when you say, I will have this to you by the end of the week, you have to keep your word. In our culture today, it's becoming very common and very accepted to just say, well, I tried. And to just say, well, I did my best, but I didn't get it done, or I didn't get it done on time because I had this come up or I had that come up. And when you're someone's employee and you have an understanding supervisor, or you're in a work environment that's not very demanding, that's fine. You can get away with that. But when you are running your own business and it's all on you, you don't have the luxury of saying, oh, I tried. You either do it or you don't. And if you want to have repeat customers, if you want to get referrals, if you want your business to grow, you need to keep your word. All right, number 2, make life easy on your customer or client. How hard is it for them to go from interested in your services to contacting you and getting a meeting with you or getting a quote from you to discuss their services? They are not interested in complexity, and they're not interested in you. They're interested in them. They want their problem solved. And so if you make it hard for them to get a solution to their problem, they will find somebody else. This is tough for a lot of us because we focus so much on doing the thing that our business does well, which is important, that we fail to look at that first contact step. How do they find me? If they find me, how do they contact me? How do they buy? How do they request a quote? How do they sign the contract, right? If you're using outdated software, if you don't have a CRM, if you're faxing or scanning PDFs to make them sign a contract, whatever it is, think through your process for acquiring a new client, fulfilling things for a client, or even marketing. How hard is it for them to say yes to you and give you money and get what they're paying for? And if you can reduce that, your business will grow without you doing anything different for your actual products or services. Number 3 is that you need to network at least 30% of your working hours. Now, we can bicker back and forth about the percentage of time, but essentially, I'd argue that a third of your business needs to be face-to-face or digital networking. Until you have so much work coming in the door that you either turn it down or you hire someone to help you, you have not done enough networking. If you're introverted, you can do networking digitally, but business is about relationships. If you're scared to talk to other people, you are not going to do well in business most of the time. You may be able to get hired as a coder, you may be able to do a little bit of computer work, but you're still not going to reach the amount of people that you would like to in traditional face-to-face business if you won't talk to people. So get out there. It's not as scary as it sounds. Most people are super happy to get coffee with you for 30 minutes. And just ask a lot of questions. Don't talk about yourself the whole time. Ask questions about the industry, their job, the market, and you'll find that these meetings are pretty painless, and it really does pay off to just continue to poke and prod, get meetings with people, and expand your network and your influence. Before I get to number 4, if you found value in this video so far, please hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure you check out the resources in the description below if you want to get better at video, whether it's at your job, for your business, or for your church. All right, number 4, over deliver and under promise. This is similar to keeping your word, but it's a really subtle shift you can make when it comes to delivering value to your client. I talked about how if there's an uneven value exchange, you're going to have trouble in business. However, if it's perceived by your client or customer that you are delivering more than they paid for, then you're going to get rave reviews, you're going to get referrals, and you're going to get repeat business. An easy way to do that, especially if you're in creative work like video, is to say, hey, I'm going to set a 4 to 6 week turnaround time for this project because you got to protect yourself. Don't set something you can't reach and break your word. Rule number 1, something as simple as delivering early on a project, or maybe you're going to add in a free resource that somebody downloaded from you and they weren't expecting. Something like that where you over deliver what they're expecting is a very, very easy way to have that wow reaction that leads to greater business down the road. So over deliver and under promise when it comes to negotiating and making promises to your clients. Number 5 is profit first and expenses second. There's a whole book on this called Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. If you haven't read this book, and especially if you have a side business or you're full-time self-employed, you need to read this book. It doesn't matter if you made 50 grand, 25 grand, or $1.5 million as a business. That approach has scaled and will scale up to 50 employees or so. This is a life-changing financial philosophy that will help your business keep the lights on. Unfortunately, too many business owners don't make it, not because they're bad at what they do, and not because they aren't willing to put in the work or sacrifice or do things they're uncomfortable with. They just do not have a plan for how to manage their cash flow. If you've ever read Shoe Dog by Phil Knight about the start of Nike, they almost went underwater multiple times, and yet they doubled their sales every year. But because cash flow was so difficult, especially with tight credit in the 80s, they could almost not stay in business. Even if they were selling over $1 million of shoes, they just couldn't manage cash coming in because of obviously buying a lot of shoes ahead of time and then selling them. It's a mess. That's why physical products are complicated. But all that to say, if you can't manage your cash flow, if you don't have a good accounting system to track expenses and to make sure that you are always paying the business first and then spending money on things for the business second, you are going to run into trouble. So have a plan for how to manage your cash flow, and that'll help your business stay afloat so you can focus on doing what you do best and not have your dreams get derailed by cash flow or accounting issues that have nothing to do with actually running your business. All right, the last two are a little bit less practical and a little bit more big picture. So number 6 is forget balance and chase passion. If you want a balanced life, then continue to be an employee for somebody else and kind of reduce your life's expectations for where you might go. Very few people in this world have everything I ever dreamed of and also have perfect balance between family life, hobbies, fitness, and their professional goals and aspirations. If you want to be somewhere different than you are today, you're going to have to do things differently. For most of us, that means we need to stop chasing this idea of perfect balance and harmony in our lives and instead say, I am going to pursue a business with passion. I'm going to pursue building this brand with passion. I'm going to pursue my career with passion. If you chase passion, you will put in a lot more hours than you maybe would otherwise. You're going to do more, sacrifice more than otherwise, but that's the only way to get there. I recommend going to Patrick Bet-David's channel, Valuetainment, and watching his original viral video, The Life of an Entrepreneur in 90 Seconds. It paints a picture very, very quickly of, yes, we all want to have leisure time. We want to have extra money. We want to have nice cars. We want to have that financial peace and security. But if you want to get there, you have to do the dirty work first. You have to be passionate. You have to say no to hanging out with friends on the weekends. You have to say no to going out all the time to eat. You have to say no to, unfortunately, maybe spending time with your family that you'd like to, because you've got to be passionate about building something better. Once you've built it and it's running, then you're going to get a long, long time of enjoying the fruits of your labor. But before it's there, before you have money in the bank, before you have the machine running, you've got to chase passion. If you can dedicate 90 days, 120 days, maybe a year, 2 years to building, before you know it, the machine's up and running, and then you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. So passion, passion, passion. Ignore this idea of balance if you want to achieve something great with your life. Finally, number 7, I think this is the bedrock of all of them. Know what you want and why. If I were to sit down and be like, Spencer, what do you really want? What's your goal? What are you chasing? And I didn't answer that right away. If I said, I'm not sure, kind of looked at the ceiling, kind of looked at my shoes, kind of said, well, and I kind of gave this roundabout answer, I'm not going to end up there most likely because I don't have a clear vision and I don't know why. So for you, where do you want to be and why do you want to get there? Do you want to have a business that changes the world, that makes a dramatic impact on an underserved community, or solves a big problem that you personally had and you want to save other people from going through that? Or do you want to be an amazing employer? You want to build an agency, you want to have tons of people working for you, and you want to give them the employee experience you never had? Is it for your family? Do you say, hey, you know what? I want to be able to retire at 45. I'm willing to sacrifice up until that point, working extra hours, doing things I don't like, but by 45, I'm going to have saved enough. I'm going to be fiscally responsible so that I can be work optional and I can start to do the things I want to do with my kids. Whatever it is for you, you've got to have that picture, and the clearer the picture that you paint for yourself, the more likely it is to come to reality. And I don't know why that is, and I'll maybe do another video someday on that, but you have to know, where do I want to go and why do I want to get there? And if you can answer those questions with conviction, then you are going to do amazing things. All right, if you watched this whole video, thank you for tuning in. I said it would be short. I'm not sure if it actually ended up that short, but I do obviously feel passionate about these things. And if you want help in your business, if you want help starting a business, or if you are working in marketing or in your career and you're like, I feel stuck and you want some answers, got resources below. You can reach out to me directly and we can work with you to help build a plan to get you out of where you're at and into the next level of life, both business-wise and with your family. So thanks for watching this video. Once again, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this, and I'll see you guys next time.